Hi, and welcome to Visibility Unlimited and Visibility Unlimited, the Spotlight, the video portion to the podcast, Visibility Unlimited. Today, it's going to be part of our social impact series. And as you know, I always ask the same 8 questions that leads into a lot of other conversation. And I found my guests, and it will all come together on the street of Philadelphia. And I was very excited and ran over to her. You'll find out in a minute why she was on the streets of Philadelphia and why I was excited. So let's start off with the first question. Number 1, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with the first question. Please start the sentence with I am, but don't share what you do yet.
Sure. Thank you for having me. I am Navaeh Robinson. I am a first-generation graduate twice of Temple University. I am the oldest daughter, so that's what tells you a bit about me already. And I am very passionate about social justice and change through the service that we are able to give through community.
Wonderful. Thank you. So that leads into, what does social impact mean to you?
For me, it's really coming together. I think I'm very rooted in community brings impact, and I think chatting with people, getting to know people, becoming aware of the stories and the culture and the depth of what society is, but also what people want that impact to look like is very important. So I think social impact can look a billion different ways, but in terms of how I see it very communicative and functional. We're working together. We're trying to figure out what you want, how I can help you, and very mutual, but mutually beneficial. I think that it's important to, not only think I know this because I know this and I'm going to do what I want, but to ask questions and to really hone in on why are we doing what we're doing and how is it impacting, the communities that we're serving.
And that's why I think I was so excited when I saw you. And so I'm going to let you say what you do so I can continue on why I was so excited when I saw you. And it was like I put my head down and I put my head up, and there you were.
Just
And
appeared.
it just appeared. And it just gave me such joy. So will you please share with everyone what you do and why I found you on the streets of
Yeah.
Philadelphia?
So, you know who I am briefly, but I am Nevaeh. I am with Treehouse Books, which is a nonprofit giving library and literacy hub in North Philadelphia. And we focus on all things literacy, learning, reading, writing for the community. And I specifically am their community outreach and book distributor, which means if you ever see a free Bookmobile van driving around in Philadelphia, that is me. And then I also handle all of our event planning and all things community engagement when it comes to Treehouse Books. And I ran into Leslie on the street at one of the sites that we visit. And that's why we do what we do. We try to engage people who have never heard of us, who know exactly who we are, who want to know who we are. And, the main goal is to really just engage people in learning and reading and getting literacy resources out into Philadelphia's communities.
I had just read about Treehouse, like literally like 2 days, and to see the van and that you were parked in front of the boxing gym, which
Yes.
everyone knows I love to begin with, but that to watch the kids running out to you. And if anyone knows me, they know I get excited. I'm gonna run and just interrupt everything. I was just like, "Who are you? I have to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh wait, it's about the kids." But I was so excited to see you in the neighborhood. Can you share more about what Treehouse, how you pick the neighborhoods, and what more do you do? And I shouldn't say more because what you're doing by putting books into young children's hands that may never be able to take a book home other than a book from school
Right.
and to give them that joy of reading.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we do so many things. I'll speak on what I do first and then kind of expand a little bit. So I do, like I mentioned, the Bookmobile, which is our traveling treehouse. It's a library on wheels. And so people request us. There's a request form on our website, which is just treehousebooks.org. And those forms come directly to me. So I am wherever I'm requested to be as long as the schedule's open. And it's only one me and it's only one van. So when you see me, it's always me. Um, if for whatever reason it's not, we do have some lovely volunteers who are able to fill in sometimes. But yes, the schedule is run by me. Where I go around the city is all scheduled by me. So even this morning, I was just over in West. I serve two daycares over there, and so they're right across the street from each other.
Okay.
And I went to one, I do their books, I read with them. I go to the other, I do the same, and then that was the site visits that I had for today. But it's all based on that form. And the same goes for any vendor requests that we have for events that we're having, any requests for, we do a really big block party in September, which I'll speak more to.
Which I need to
Um,
get my form in. Yes, it's on
which is
it's on my
fine.
to-do list. I know I'm gonna
Um,
wait.
and then we have after school and summer programming for K-8 children. And then we also do adult focused events called book swaps, which I run quarterly throughout the year. So we really try to engage all ages of people. We have books for all ages. We primarily, when we do stops, see that we serve a lot of youth, which is the goal ultimately to get them to have books. And then people in the home or wherever they're going home to is then curious, where did you get this book? Can I get a book? And then we're engaging all the ages as it's kind of flowing together. But even the bookmobile, when I'm out, people will be like, do you have adult books? And I'm like, yes, I do. You can come in just like your kids do, or whoever it is, and you can stop me and grab whatever you like. And, that's the beauty of it. It's all free. The service is free. The books are free. And it all just kind of is a cyclical, nice little way of making sure we're putting the resources back into the community.
Mm. So why do you do this? When I was speaking with you, you are young,
Yes.
just finished school, but there's this passion about you that the more I spoke to you and the more I saw that this was something that was really important to you. It's not a job that you have since you've left school. So
Yeah.
what is your why?
Yeah, I think that's a very deep question. I have a lot of whys, so I could talk forever and ever about why I do what I do. But I think ultimately, I had really beautiful access when I was growing up, and I grew up in a suburban, I call it my city suburbia kind of town. And I never had to worry about, like the library not having the books I needed or the library down the street being closed or whatever it might have been. I had a bookshelf full of books. We were able to go to the Barnes and Noble and buy them. So I never really worried about, oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to read or comprehend or do any of those things. And when I got to a major city, I started to realize that it's unfortunate that that's an issue that people have to, come to terms with. It's like, oh, my children might not reach the level that I want them to, or the schools don't have access to a library or a librarian or books that can give the kids a little bit more excitement around reading or energy just around finding characters that they are similar to or that they like or whatever it might be. And I started to notice I was with a Head Start program at the time in college, and I started to notice, okay, like the kids want to read. They want to like what they're doing and they want to be excited about it, but there's such limited, resources around it, and there's people who aren't always passionate about it that, are in those spaces that I feel like if it was someone who wanted to advocate for them a bit more, or had a bit more excitement about the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, that kid really might have fallen in love with it. So I think
Right.
that just all naturally flowed. I'm very blessed to say that everything flowed very naturally. I graduated, the role was posted, it all worked together with my timeline and what was going on. So from a I need to be stable standpoint, it all worked out that way. But from
Right.
a passionate standpoint, I went to school for sociology. I'm heavily involved in nonprofit, and I always have been. And I knew that I didn't want to sit in an office and I didn't want to be stuck behind a computer all the time. So the role just felt very fitting, and I get to be on the ground every day, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. I'm excited about. I get to see kids and adults be happy about books. So truthfully, it's more enjoyable for me sometimes than I feel like it is for them. But I do love what I do, and I feel that I have a very unique standpoint as well because I'm in it every single day. So it's
Right.
nice to see the growth, and it's also nice to see where we need to do more as well.
Absolutely. When I do the research and I look around, we are really lacking resources. Well, one, we're banning books, we're taking books away. We
Yeah.
don't have enough librarians. They're saying that's not a career. Wrong. Uh, then you don't have and I don't know if they still have the Scholastic days where you were so excited to get that
Yeah.
$5 or $10 or whatever you could get to go buy books.
Hmm.
And like you said, every household doesn't is not going to have their own personal library. They're not going
Right.
to have that option. So to be able to give that to a child and to an adult, for the simple fact that we are now releasing, and I want to say releasing young adults into adulthood and them not being able to read
Yeah.
and or write. And we're in America. This is crazy to me
Right.
that, and it's because we don't take the time. We, I think kids are missing out on that. Like you said, Wimpy, that was before my, after my time. I think of Clifford the Big Red Dog, and,
Right.
Dear God, it's me, Marguerite. And those are books that from your childhood, that when you hear that title, I don't care how old you are, it
Right.
will bring a smile to your face.
Yeah.
And for me, the thought of kids not having that, kids, teens, adults not having that opportunity to go to a library, library cards are free. And everyone's like, oh, well, listen, you're author. You're not going to make money from them. I'm like, oh, we do make money from library. I don't care. If you go to the
Yeah.
library and request our books, they will get it for you. I just did it the other week for another author.
Yeah.
They're going to make money off of it. It's about getting it into people's hands.
Right.
And as a society, I think we've taken that away. We don't have the physical newspapers the way that we even used to flip. We don't have as many
Yeah.
magazines to
I
to
know.
flip.
I think that's like the beauty of Treehouse. It solves an issue, right? Because we're solving the where are the books going when you're done with them? Why are you trying to sell them? Why is the thrift store trying to sell them or wherever you're sending them when it could be free? You've used them for their purpose. You've enjoyed them. Maybe you didn't enjoy them, but instead of setting them on the street or putting them in trash bags, it's like, please give us the books.
Oof, oof.
I think, yeah, it's just one of those things that once people find out about us, they're like, oh, I wish I would have known sooner. I'm like, in my head, it's been 21 years, y'all. We've been here for 21 years. So I'm like, why didn't you know about us before? And where have all the books gone before? Because I'm more wanting them because I know that they can bring so much joy to people.
Right,
I'm not wanting them because I'm gonna make any profit off of it or we're gonna benefit any other reason than we're truthfully just giving them right back out into the community. And it really is a beautiful thing when you introduce people to the idea of not having to find somewhere to sell them or, oh, we could just come bring you the box. Cool, I'll be there next week. That happens all the time where people finally realize that the 8 boxes they have in their basement can go be donated and they
right,
go to a home that needs them, which is nice because, it's not going and sitting somewhere and getting dusty. A lot of the kids I'll revisit and they'll be, Miss Nevaeh, Miss Nevaeh, I read this book so many times. I know it through and through. I'm like, oh, good. You should tell me it.
right.
Read it to me because I think there's so much excitement around just them being excited about the plot and the words and the mystery of it and diving into a book and opening the pages and feeling it. And that's our goal is to really just give them, that feeling.
Right. Oh, I love that. And I mean, that was part of my childhood as much as I performed, but reading, going back into the library a couple weeks ago, it just gave me such joy. And it did, it brought back my childhood. And
Yeah.
I purposely went back and was like, I'm going to now get library cards. I had them, wasn't using them as much. Life does what it does. And I'm like, now I am purposely making a point to go into libraries to pick out books. Um, can the kids, when they come and are adults, can they
Mhm.
switch out books or can they hold on to them? How does that work?
Yeah, so all of our books are free, and once they pick it up, it's theirs. So as soon as it leaves our doors, we have no expectation of it ever coming back. The goal is to make sure that they're reading it and it goes, and if it comes back, it comes back. It'll go to a new person, and it'll just continue on that chain. But we never have any expectation that you need to give in order to take. We're a giving library, and that's very, telling for the name. It's
Yeah,
very much you come in, you give us your name, you give us an email if you have one, just so we can keep track of, how many people come in and
right.
also how often are you coming in? Do you come often or whatever that might be like? And we also track the weight of the books to be able to understand how much it would transition into monetarily, like what are we actually giving out every year? Not only the count of books, but what does that translate to? And that's it. We weigh them and they're yours. You come in and they're yours. So it's really exciting. You come in, there's shelves and shelves and shelves of books, and you can pick through them and open them up and see whatever you want. And if you don't like it, you just put it back and you move to the next one. But if you do, it's yours forever. So it's a cool
Oh,
concept for sure.
yes. So you personally, what are you here to shake up the world with?
Oh, I'm like, let me say a lot of things. There's so many things. I feel like the world right now, I really just wish that there was a little bit more hope. And I think people need just a little bit more excitement in their day. Wake up and be excited that you're alive and well. And, even if you're not well, hope that you are, because there are a lot of people who are really, really struggling. And, if that means one book at a time, we're trying to teach kids how to read again, or if it means that dollar that you had left or whatever it might be, I'm very big on just really give back when even if it's your last, it might be someone's, saving grace. So really, I'm here to just, give back and do what you can. But I also think give grace. That's very something I'm very big on is I think especially being I am young. I just graduated college back to back and I've never taken a break from education. So, giving yourself the grace of like I can take a break and I can, have a bad day or whatever it might be. I think that that's something that, sometimes people just need to hear and that's really what I try to remind myself as well.
Mm. And I think that's something that you find in books when you read too, when you read other stories, when you can relate with characters that may look like you or sound like you, or even sometimes when they don't, but the story is there, that you can take a break, that you can give grace, that education's not a bad thing, that
Yeah,
education can be cool, and, hopefully our education system and granted, there are amazing teachers and amazing librarians, and I hope they continue to
right.
be able to do why they have stepped into those roles to really teach and to share and to have children explore. Because when you think of books, or when I think of books, it's all about exploring, you
Yeah.
know. And then I think we touched on at one point the government assistance and grants, and
Yeah.
how does that affect what you all are doing?
It hasn't affected us at all, honestly. I can't say from like pinpoint wise if it
Right.
has truthfully because I'm not on the grant side of things,
Okay.
but we are very fortunate to have a lot of very invested individuals, both privately and just a lot of donations that come in and are able to support what we do. And that's kind of how we survive. Also, it's not as easy for a grant to not be approved because we're not doing anything fortunately, that aligns with whatever they were trying to rid the education system of. We're
Mhm.
just giving books. We're truthfully giving books. We're giving resources. We're trying to make sure that what should already be accessible is accessible.
Right.
And so there's nothing really that we're doing that at least that has been prohibited
Right.
thus far. And we've
Right.
been able to, maintain our programming and the budgets have been completely fine. Because we do have a lot of support and we have an amazing grant writer and a director that makes sure that it's that way. I am in awe of them all the time of just how amazing they are and they do their job very well. So we've stayed completely comfortable, honestly, through all of it.
And that is my wish for you, that you continue to stay that way. I also, you mentioned about people dropping off books. So
Mhm.
if there's someone that's watching, because this is going to go beyond Philadelphia, clearly,
Yeah.
and someone says, you know what, I have an amazing collection, or there are hit book publishers that would like to send
Yes.
series and books your way, how can they do that? Is there a
Yeah,
process?
so Emma is our library manager and handles all book donations and distribution. So her emails on our website, which I mentioned, is just treehousebooks.org, but it's also just emma@treehousebooks.org. You can reach out to her and you can say, I have a book donation, am I able to bring it in? We unfortunately don't have the capacity to do pickups, which is something that sometimes prohibits us from getting certain books. But, if you really want to donate them, our address is 1430 West Susquehanna and we're in North Philly and we have our library there. We just ask that we know beforehand because our storage is very limited. We try to have the same going out as they're coming in and not an insane amount of boxes piling up in the back where, the books end up being hidden instead of being on the shelves. But yeah, Emma handles all things bringing books into the library and donations. So if you reach out to her, we would love to have your books, and please don't put them on the street in garbage bags.
Please do not.
Or give them for money. If you want to donate them, we will take them and we'll make sure they have happy homes. But that's pretty much the process. It's very easy. You can just reach out. You can even call and ask for Emma. We have a system that you can click an extension so you can go right to her in the library. And same for any other questions you might have. You can speak directly with our AD. You can speak with our managing director. You can speak with anyone you might have questions about for events. It's all right on the phone as well, and it'll direct you to who you need to get to. But we would love your books, and we would also love for all of you to come visit as well. We're a free public library, technically,
Mm.
giving library, but realistically, the doors are open for whoever and whenever you want to come in. And we're open Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday is 10 to 6, and on Saturdays we're 10 to 3. And we always love when everyone comes in. So visit us.
I can't wait to come visit. Thank you so much for taking the time. Again, if they want you at an event there to just go online as well,
Yes.
and they can reach you. And this is not only an event, I just want to throw this out. I think this
Hmm.
is also an event. This is a great opportunity if it works in your schedule. If you are having a celebration with
Yep.
children, to be able to have I mean, the van it's wrapped amazingly. I was so excited. I think any child, an adult will be excited because look, the person I was speaking to that owns a gift shop, I was like, I'll get the information. Next thing I knew, she was standing behind me.
Right next to you.
It was like two grown adults went back to being children, excited about books.
Yeah.
May every child have the excitement
Yeah.
that of having their own book.
Yeah.
And I just wish you continued success. Will
Thank
you
you.
give the website one more time for people?
Yes. It is treehousebooks with an S.org. And you can see all the things that we do. You can join our newsletter there as well if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with us. We have a couple exciting projects in the works. So all of our social media and all of our website is updated with those things. And also, I love to meet new people, chat with new people, do author highlights, events, anything that you're interested in. You can always reach out to me. And my email is just my first name, Nevaeh at treehousebooks.org, but it's also on the website as well.
Thank you, Nevaeh. When I speak about social impact, I speak about a person like Nevaeh. I speak about Treehouse, what they're doing in the community, what they're doing. Really, this goes beyond the community because this is now giving a basis to a child that they will take reading with them through their entire world. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
For all of those that are listening, for those that are watching, as you know, I'm Leslie Short, the owner of the Kava Group and the host of Visibility Unlimited. Thank you, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.